The 1980s was a weird time in action cinema. As many people know, it was the start of the ninja craze. We had stuff like American Ninja, 9 Deaths of the Ninja, all kinds of ninja films put together. And most of it was done by the hack that is Godfrey Ho. But did you know that in 1984, the Swedish decided to enter the market with their own ninja film called The Ninja Mission? It was made entirely in Sweden with a host of unknown British, Polish and Swedish actors that can't act by a director that didn't really know what he was doing at the time. Apparently it became Sweden's most popular and highest grossing movie, although finding evidence of this and how much it grossed is quite hard these days.
The Ninja Mission, a suicide mission deep in the heart of Russia.
This is the film we're going to look at today. How's it, guys, and welcome to Cult Action Reviews, the channel where we look at the weird, the wonderful, and the downright terrible of the action film universe. Today we're going to look at 1984's Swedish martial arts action film, The Ninja Mission.
The Ninja Mission, starring Hannah Paul and Christopher Colburn.
We open, like many of these films, on action. A woman running away from bad guys. And when she's being shot at, for some reason, the guns sound like laser blasts from Star Wars or something. The woman ends up being saved by this guy.
Get in, for Christ's sake!
Who's the hero of the film, Mason. But at this point, we don't know who he is, we don't know who she is. So I am immediately intrigued and really confused.
Okay, thanks, mister. But let me out of here.
Girl, you just got in the car with a complete stranger. Of course he's not going to let you go.
I was paid to do a job, and I'm going to finish it.
Why they stop here is beyond me. Just keep driving. You've got the lead on those guys, for God's sake. Ah yes, go up, where you will be trapped. But it's okay, there's actually a plan here.
Don't run, my love. Don't be afraid of me, baby.
Who are you?
Because a surprise ninja appears to take on this creepy bad guy. Everybody loves a surprise ninja. Unfortunately, we're not really far in, and the cracks in this movie are already starting to show. The choreography here is not great. I'm guessing because there's a lack of martial arts skill both from the directors, the fight choreographers, and the actors. The camera's placed too close in so we can't see what's going on. Everyone's dressed about the same. It's all happening in near total darkness. We can't actually tell who the hero is, who the bad guys are. I mean, look at this here. Slow, lacking impact, and just lacking oomph that you need from a good fight scene. But this big guy getting his beard ripped off and then falling down the stairs is pretty hilarious. And at this point, I still don't know what's going on. Who's the good guys? Who the bad guys? Who is anyone? Who's the woman? I don't know. This movie has not given me any context and it's thrown me into a fight scene, which is one of the problems this movie has. I have no emotional connection to any of the people involved here, so why should I care about this fight scene? Also, it turns out that the ninjas were late getting here because they got stuck in traffic.
What kept you?
We lost you a couple of times and then we got held up at the crossing.
What a brilliant bunch of shadow warriors these guys are. So after all of that, we finally get context. The KGB, which is the guys that were chasing the lady,
The KGB?
are after this lady, whose name is Nadia.
The KGB want you, and they want you real bad.
So her father is a professor who's working on some super secret energy project. The KGB and the Russians want it. This guy, Mason, is our hero. He's our Swedish ninja.
Ninja.
Although he hardly ever gets dressed up in ninja clothes and always takes his mask off. But anyway, he's working for the CIA.
We've been keeping watch on you for the last couple of weeks.
Now that Nadia's just come out of this life and death situation,
Come on, I'll drive you home.
Mason says she should go to a safe house, but Nadia's not content with that. She needs to do her job, which is go to a nightclub and sing.
I must go to the club. I'm singing tonight.
Because only cowards don't turn up for work after a near-death experience.
I'll take you there then.
And I know what you're probably thinking. If the KGB knows where she lives, surely they'll know where she works. But where she works is actually super secret. I mean, check this out. Yep, that's a poster of her. No way the KGB will find her here. We get the plot explained here. Nadia's father, the professor, is working on something that could shift the balance of power between the USSR and the West.
The balance of power between East and West will be destroyed. He's defecting back to the West. He wants you there.
And the CIA is here to help her. The CIA, well known for its ninja contingent.
Ninja.
Nadia is remarkably nonchalant about all these world-ending consequences, ninjas, and almost being killed by the KGB.
I suppose you're the CIA. And those headies were the KGB.
She heads into a killer dressing room and even gets undressed in front of Mason, the guy who she just met and who just saved her life.
I can hardly remember him. I have a new name. And a new life. It was his choice to go to Russia.
Oh yes, I know that all these world-ending consequences could be terrible for me and for the rest of the world, but you know, I hate my dad, so I'm not gonna do anything about it. And I love Mason here. He's just said that the world might end and that this woman's in danger, but he's totally gonna let her go to a crowded club and sing a song. I know the world might end, but first, I'm gonna listen to some terrible music in a dark and dingy club. This man has his priorities all screwed up. Meanwhile, the CIA, I think, I had to guess here, because once again, this movie doesn't give you context for anything that's happening, is trying to rescue Nadia's professor father. And it almost goes wrong, but luckily, this CIA dude has two tricks up his sleeves. And as they're running away from the Russians, they have an uninspired shootout that works just to up the body count. A lot of Russians die in slow motion, there's a lot of shooting. It's not really interesting to look at, but it's serviceable, I guess. And this was the moment where I realized that this movie just wants to have as high a body count as possible, but it doesn't understand that a high body count does not make a good action movie. Connection to the events happening make a good action movie. I'll elaborate more on this later. As Nadia's father is escaping, the Russians, the CIA guys, ask a prudent question.
A helicopter will pick us up and take us to Sweden.
Why all these changes?
I got new instructions today. Someone has betrayed us.
Can the professor's assistant be trusted since she's a Russian? And the professor goes,
You can trust her. She's been my assistant for the last 3 years.
trust me on this, bro.
I hope you're right, Professor.
And of course, in the end, she stabs the CIA guys in the back and kills them both. The Russians have a plan. They staged the professor's escape, killed about 50 to 100 of their own men to trick the professor into thinking he had been rescued so that he can continue working on his grand formula or whatever it is, and the Russians can have it before the CIA does. A brilliant plan, I think you'll find, unless you're one of these poor sods. Also, we're 24 minutes into the movie now, and we've had one scene of ninja action. Where the hell are my ninjas in a movie called The Ninja Mission? And while her father is escaping certain death, Nadia is singing a song on stage, badly. And now, Weird Movies with Mark over at Fanboy Flicks, great channel by the way, he's pointed this out before. Bad movies love including entire songs in the movie. You'll see this with stuff like Champagne and Bullets, where John DeHart just gets up and starts singing occasionally.
I swell up as you take me for a ride. Come on, pretty baby, let's do the shimmy slide.
It's just baffling. Why does this happen every time? This is the most generic, boring 80s music ever. And what's worse is that Nadia is captured in the dumbest way possible. This KGB guy literally just walks up to her on stage and jabs her with a needle and carries her unconscious body off stage. Gee, who would have thought that going to work while you're being chased by the KGB was a bad idea? The worst part of all of this happens right in front of our hero Mason, who then decides to open fire on the guy carrying Nadia on his back with no regard for Nadia's safety whatsoever. And this leads to a huge shootout that's only purpose is to up the body count.
Ninja.
A conspicuously ninja-free shootout, I'll tell you. And the only notable part of this is when it looks like our hero Mason guns down an innocent woman so that she falls over and is trampled to death by the crowd. But this actually isn't our hero. This is our hero. Can you tell the difference? They both are dressed similarly and have the same haircut. This is one of the problems with this movie. Amateur mistakes like this. You've got to be able, especially in the dark and especially in the VHS era, to tell who the hero is at a glance. And that means dressing them and styling their hair different from a dude that looks exactly like him. I mean, here it looks like he's fighting his friggin' evil twin. This leads to a car chase where there are still no ninjas. I was promised ninjas. Where are my ninjas? And of course, Mason loses Nadia. Useless bastard.
Shit. Mason?
Hello, sir.
The Russians have taken Markov.
We still got his daughter.
Correction, they've got his daughter. I've lost her.
You've surpassed yourself.
What do you mean he surpassed himself? He surpassed himself in stupidity, for sure.
You're to take the ninja into Russia and get Markov out.
Ninja.
So we're 30 minutes into the movie, and the plot has just reset itself to the beginning. Nothing that's happened up till now means anything, plot-wise. The plot just hasn't gone anywhere. So here we are. Now the movie starts. Again. And scenes like this are indicative of the ninja mission. Slow, inert, and stuntifyingly boring. Take this example as well. This riveting scene where Nadia brings her father some tea. The whole scene lasts an interminably long minute. Actually cut this down for time.
A lethal dose of poison enters the bloodstream, which on reaching the brain or the heart causes the organ to explode. Its main use is as a deterrent to would-be heroes.
Yeah, that does sound like a deterrent. 44 minutes in and we finally get ninjas. Masters of stealth. Unseen in broad daylight. Avoiding every shadow. Does this guy know how eyelids work? So Nadia and her dad are tricked into believing that they're safe in Sweden with the CIA.
Where are we, Mr. Aberman?
We are still in Sweden. That's all I can tell you.
And after early in the movie, when Nadia was like, no thanks, I don't care about the world, I hate my dad, now she's suddenly all teary-eyed and wants to see him.
I wonder if he is how I remember him.
He is waiting for you. Now.
Although it really is impressive how lacking in emotion this entire scene is.
All I want is to become a father again.
The music tries though.
Funny, I hated you so much for leaving me alone. I didn't want to see you again.
Stop pointing out your own plot holes, movie. But at least we get more ninja action. And I realize these guys are terrible ninjas. The whole point of ninjas is they're supposed to be stealthy assassins, moving in the shadows, taking out people without anyone realizing. Although I suppose it's technically stealthy if no one's alive to raise the alarm.
Ninja.
So our ninjas storm the castle in broad daylight, in black ninja gear, in the snow. They are as inconspicuous as King Kong on the Empire State Building. Here's a live look at me during this movie. At least we finally get some ninjaing. It's intercut with slow, listless stealth scenes, but at this point I'll take what I can get. And Mason once again proves himself to be the biggest idiot on the planet. He walks in and starts talking to the professor for about 4 minutes while he's on CCTV instead of just grabbing him and going. And because of this, he gets captured. And this was where this movie started to annoy me, because Mason is the most useless son of a bitch on the face of the planet. And this decision ends up getting not only the professor killed, but Mason's entire team.
Ninja.
One of the dumbest heroes I've ever had the displeasure to watch on screen. You've got a gun! Just shoot him! Shoot him, grab the professor and go! Leave Mason behind! End my interminable suffering! Or just leave the bad guy there to go and plant bombs and let Nadia get tortured and get scarred mentally and physically for life while you dick about elsewhere. Oh, these heroes are numpties. I actually want the bad guys to win. So instead of saving the professor and Nadia, who they are there for, this guy ends up going to save Mason, who, I'll remind you, got himself captured. At this point I was losing any hope I had for this film being entertaining, because the heroes are so dumb and the scenes are so boring and so much of it is just so interminably dull that most of this is just purely not fun to watch. I'm sure Nadia will appreciate being physically and emotionally scarred for the rest of her life so that Mason could be saved from the consequences of his own actions. And while the heroes stuff about, the professor takes matters into his own hands and tries to save himself. He ends up getting killed before the heroes finally spring into action. And the action isn't very good. Again, hits have no impact. It's like people are just flailing at each other. I mean, look at this amazing gouge out the eyes bit.
Or it will destroy you.
This scene has all the emotional weight of a limp noodle. And it's all Mason's fault. And now we have the big climax, where our ninjas slap fight a couple of guys to death with the most ineffective looking martial arts I've ever seen on screen. Don't get me wrong, most of it sucks. The ninja mission has taken an hour to fulfill the ninja part of its title. But moments like this are pretty cool. And the dart from earlier that's such a deterrent does get a bit of a payoff.
What the hell?
I will hand it to the movie though. These SFX are pretty cool. Now it's almost as if the makers of the Ninja Mission realized as their film was coming to an end that the movie wasn't just called The Mission. So they figured now is the time to add in all the ninja stuff. And they do. They add in as much ninja stuff as possible into the last half hour of the film. However, it has no weight, no impact, because our heroes aren't actually involved in it. It's a bunch of faceless people killing another bunch of faceless people just to up the body count and the gore rate and the ninja action. There is no emotional connection for the audience to this fight. And this is what I meant earlier. If you think about a silly film with a big body count, like Commando for instance, that whole film has emotional weight because it spends the first few minutes setting up Arnold's relationship with his daughter, and then we spend the rest of the film with Arnold trying to get his daughter back. There are stakes. We also know that Bennett is the big bad guy.
He'll do exactly as he's told.
And he's established as a guy that hates Arnold's character for a very specific reason, so there's rivalry set up. The final battle has stakes. Arnold has to rescue his daughter and defeat the big bad. Here there are none, no stakes whatsoever. Our hero and Nadia are already fleeing. The ninjas don't have to fight these guys because they planted bombs all around the castle. So they should just leave. They should run away, let the bombs blow up and kill everyone. But this movie fundamentally misunderstands what makes a good action movie. It thinks that a high body count, gore and explosions are what you need. And that's not true at all. Eventually, Mason escapes with Nadia, leaving all his friends to die.
Where's the others? Dead.
And something explodes behind the castle. A miniature was a bit too hard to make, huh guys? Just before the end, there's another limp action scene just to up the body count, where Mason and Nadia just kill a whole bunch of faceless Russians. One of the bad guys escapes with the secret formula. And here's the thing, the bad guy that escaped, he's apparently a double agent. So all that happened, all that death, everything happening didn't have to happen because the double agent could have just given the CIA the formula. So the formula that everybody was trying to get throughout the whole movie ends up getting burned at the end by Nadia because it's too dangerous for anyone to have. And as far as I can gather, it's just clean energy. Why is it too dangerous for everyone to have clean energy? And why are you making it that the hundreds of people that have died in this movie, good guys, Russians, civilians at a nightclub, the woman who got trampled to death, all these people died for absolutely nothing. And that's how the film ends, right there. Most disappointing ending in the world.
My resignation.
And that's The Ninja Mission from 1984. One of the most pointless movies I've ever seen. The ending makes it that everything that happened before was useless. No point to it. The plot could have been over if Mason had just gone, well, okay, I'll take Nadia to a safe house. And the CIA dudes had just trusted their instincts and not trusted the professor's assistant. It could have been over in 10 minutes, and it would have saved me an hour and a half of my life.
Ninja.
And that's it for this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Cult Action Reviews. The Ninja Mission was not as much fun to watch as I hoped it would be. But, you know, swings and roundabouts. I do want to check out more of the director's movies to see if he improved, but this one is a no from me. Anyway, if you liked the video, leave me a like, drop me a subscribe if you want to see more of my content, and I'll see you next time on Cult Action Reviews.